Greetings, adventurers, and welcome back to Let's Play Dragon Age Origins. We are in the village of Honleith, as we have just recruited yet another new member to our group. We have a stone golem here, Shale, who was kind of stuck here in the middle of this town for the longest time after kind of being basically kind of used and abused by her old master, and basically just kind of living a life of servitude, and then a life of stagnation and decay, just basically being the villagers' plaything here in the middle of town. So yeah, things didn't go quite according to plan last time. We failed to save the daughter of the mage person, or the sort of ancestor of the mage that owned Shale in that tower, because there was a desire demon and all that stuff. But you know, things don't always go the way that we would want them, and things don't always work out. And I think that's the beauty of the Dragon Age games is, you know, things don't always work out, and that's the fun thing with role-playing, is just kind of seeing where things go from there, and kind of having to live with your consequences, live with the consequences of your actions, as it were, if I can talk. So, we're going to go ahead and head out here. There's nothing else for us to do here. There's a bunch of locked chests that we can't get into, but that's neither here nor there, because we can't unlock them, because none of our rogues are good enough to do that. Because I don't think Zevran has any lockpicking skills yet. Nope, he has nothing. So he's a pretty terrible rogue, if we gotta, you know, gonna say that. But let's go ahead and get going, and we're off to our next place. Really? Was that necessary? Good grief, Shale. Alright, so now we have to decide where we're going to go next. So now that we're all the way down here, I don't really think it makes a whole lot of sense to jump all the way back up to Soldier's Peak, but I was interested in going to see, I don't know, what things might look like up there since we've left. But the main quest progression can either continue on here at Redcliffe Village, at Lake Callanhead Docks, or the Frostback Mountain. And I'm entirely unsure what to do in that regard. So I think first off what we'll actually do is go ahead and go to Party Camp. It'll set up camp, sort of give us some time to reflect on things, connect a little bit with Shale, and then we can decide where to go from there. It's actually been a little while since I've done any recording, so I'm feeling a little rusty in terms of my commentary, so bear with me on that. Okay, hey there, Elba. I know we replaced you. Elba digs furiously in the ground at your feet. Trying to find a way through the earth, are we? Well, I don't think that's going to work. It's going to take some time, you know. Well, good luck with that then. Okay. Yep. Alright. Our camp is getting nice and full now. Look at that. We got a full-on little camp here. And I guess this will also give us our first chance to really talk with Zevran and kind of get to know him a little bit. So let's go ahead and do that.
Here I am.
Here you are. Care to answer some questions?
Oh, this should be good. Go ahead.
Do you actually enjoy being an assassin?
And why not? There are many things to enjoy about being a crow in Antiva. You are respected, you are feared, the authorities go out of their way to overlook your trespasses, even the rewards are nothing to turn your nose up at. As for the killing part, well, some people simply need assassinating. Or do you disagree?
You've never killed an innocent?
Now there's an interesting word, innocent. How many men do you know who can claim to be truly innocent? But if you're talking generalities, such as children and relatives and bystanders and such, never on purpose. But it happens. It's unfortunate, but death comes to us all. If not me, then some wasting disease, or a fall down the stairs, or at the hands of a darkspawn. It's all relative in the end.
Yeah. I suppose that's true.
Death happens, as we like to say, and when I get paid for it, death happens more often. As far as enjoying the act of killing itself, why not? There is a certain artistry to the deed, the pleasure of sinking your blade into their flesh and knowing that their life is in your hands.
Okay. Well, I take no pleasure in killing. I enjoy violence myself. That's a bit sick. I know what you mean. Well, I think Idris would kind of know what he means in terms of, like, at least relating it to being a mage. I don't think he would necessarily think that that's all a bit sick in general, or that he would necessarily enjoy violence. But, like, his own magic, he's sort of looked at as this dangerous person. But, like, you know, when he gets to chain together a string of magical abilities and take out a good group of darkspawn, or people that have been, you know, that are going to try to steal him and underestimate his power, then, you know, that does feel pretty nice. So I think he's going to say that, maybe a little bit differently of a slant than what probably this dialogue option is necessarily meaning, but that's role-playing for you.
There are many things I did not enjoy about being a crow, of course. Having no choice, being treated as an expendable commodity, the rules, oh, so many rules. But simply being an assassin, I like it just fine. I will continue to do it if I can, even if I am not a crow. Honestly, could you picture me doing something else?
I mean, I don't really know you well enough to say anything like that, but, I mean, you can do whatever you like, really.
Whereas I am content merely doing what I happen to be good at. It's a talent that not many come by, honestly. I don't see why I need not pursue it. Of course, all these thoughts are moot. Chances are still good that you and I will perish, eaten by darkspawn or slain by the crows at some point. Very gruesomely, I imagine. But it is pleasant enough to chat about. Come, let's move on while our boots still have some wear in them.
Alright, fair enough. Alistair, what about you?
What do you need?
I'd like to ask you something.
Ask away.
Why have you remained a Templar if you hate the Chantry?
Have you seen the uniform? It's not only stylish, but well made. I'm a sucker for good tailoring.
Not this again. Can't you answer a simple question?
I used to be able to, but then the Chantry beat it out of me. Sad but true. I can't hardly get through a pillow fight these days without being overcome with guilt either.
Oh my gosh. Do all Templars make these jokes, or just you?
Oh, you know, between all the guilt and the hours spent in solemn prayer, any good Templar or priest is just bursting to tell a few good jokes when the opportunity arises. You don't really want to know about my being a Templar, do you? It's really quite boring.
Well, not if it's going to lead to more of your stupid jokes, no.
Well, then why did you bother asking? Leave it well enough alone next time.
Well, just freaking answer my questions without the stupid jokes next time, then. Gosh. Hello, Liliana.
Yes?
I'd like to talk.
Well, here I am.
Okay. Do you have any tales to share?
Of course I do. I love stories far too much to keep them to myself. Everyone should be able to benefit from them, I think.
Okay. Know any stories from Orlais?
Of course, Orlesians enjoy telling stories. I shall tell you my favorite tale of Aveline, the Knight of Orlais.
Okay, go ahead.
A long time ago, a girl child was born to a farmer. He had hoped for a son, not a daughter, and so he told his wife to abandon the child in the woods. Before the cold could claim her, the baby was found by a tribe of Dalish elves who took pity on the poor mewling thing and raised her as their own. Aveline, for that is what they called her, grew strong and quick and clever under the guidance of the elves. She learned to wield the sword as well as any man, could kill a deer with an arrow at 100 paces, and was as graceful on the back of a horse as she was on foot.
Okay, continue.
Aveline's Dalish guardians saw that she could easily best any Orlesian chevalier in battle, and wanted to show the cruel humans the child they had left to die. They bestowed upon her a fine horse and armor, and sent her to prove herself to her people in the grand tourney. Now in those days, no woman was allowed to take up arms, let alone compete in the grand tourney, but Aveline kept her helmet on and was not discovered.
Okay, go on.
Aveline won many events and gained the approval of the adoring crowd. Eventually, she came face to face with the knight Kaleva in the grand melee. Aveline had already bested him in the joust, and Kaleva was determined not to lose a second time. Out of desperation to regain his honor, Kaleva tripped Aveline and tossed her to the ground, ripping off her helmet as he did so. Silence fell upon the arena as Aveline was revealed. Kaleva declared the previous competitions invalid. A woman had taken part, and this was not allowed. But the crowd cheered for Aveline. Kaleva was furious, for he had lost to a woman and was now being shamed. Blinded by his rage, he forced Aveline to her knees. "Know your place, woman," cried he, and slit her throat.
Oh, wow. I was hoping for a happy ending.
The son of the king, Prince Freyan, was present. He recognized Aveline's skill and bravery and began to see the injustice done to the women in his land. When he was made king, he rewrote the laws of Orlais so that women could also become chevalier. He honored Aveline and knighted her after her death. And to this day, any female who is knighted reveres Aveline the Brave, for she is the patron of all women chevalier.
Okay. Thank you. Let's move on for now. Interesting. I know, I pretty much know how this is gonna go. But
Yes.
I wanted to discuss something you mentioned.
Speak, then.
Yep, okay. When do we get new
Then I suggest we move on.
when do we get new dialogue options for Sten?
I am hardly surprised.
Yep, there we go.
Very well. As you wish.
I don't know when we get new dialogue options for Sten. That's kind of wild. Okay, hello, Shale. Newest member of the team. I mean, I didn't think I looked that bad. What's with the heavy sighs?
Oh, that. Merely reflecting on the hopeless nature of the task in front of it. The most likely outcome is that it and its companions will become a stain on some rock for the Darkspawn to tread upon. I shall be moved to a single tear by the tragedy.
Right, okay, well, glad to know you care, at least.
It's true. One single tear. And then it's off to the north, I think. Or maybe west. I haven't decided. What's that? Did it hear flapping wings? There may be pigeons nearby. We should be alert.
Okay. Hello, Bodan and Sandal. My favorite dwarves. How are you all doing?
If there's anything I can do for you, please tell me.
Yes, have you heard any rumors?
I hear the Dwarven King is passed on. Old as he was probably poisoned or assassinated. That's how the dwarves normally go out, isn't it? That's what I've heard on the road, anyhow. Take it for what it is.
Okay. I should go.
Of course. Good fortune to you and yours.
Goodbye.
Goodbye, Sandal. Speaking of dwarves, maybe we should go and pay a visit to more of their kin. Next. Alright. Hey, Morgan.
I await your command.
No commands. I'd like to ask you something.
So, full of questions, are you?
So, are you really Flemeth's daughter?
I assume you were actually asking whether Flemeth herself gave birth to me. Truly, I do not know. I once asked Flemeth that very question, and she merely laughed at me. 'Tis not inconceivable that she could capture a chastened man, or perhaps change to a more attractive form to attract him willingly. I find it more difficult to imagine her with child.
Well, she was not always as old as she is now, was she?
As a matter of fact, I remember her being younger once. She had black hair, much like my own, long and lustrous. But how could that be if she is centuries old? Has she become wizened only recently? Or are the tales of her legend only that, and nothing more? I do know the tales of Flemeth having many daughters, even though I have never met another. And Flemeth has always treated me as her blood.
Well, so does that mean that you love her?
What an odd thing to say. Why must love enter into the equation? Flemeth taught me everything I needed to learn. How to survive, the meaning of power, the truth of men. If other mothers do not teach these things, then I believe them the lesser.
I suppose that's true.
You suppose it's true? 'Tis true. To indulge in love is to indulge in delusion. Surely a Grey Warden such as yourself does not believe otherwise.
Well, I'm not sure what I believe.
An honest answer, if a somewhat vapid one. You shall learn in time, if fortune smiles on you.
Alright. So, well, I mean, that's pretty much everybody that we've got here in the camp. So now, yeah, we have to decide where to go next. And I would imagine that we could go to the Frostback Mountains and get started on the Dwarven angle of things. Because, you know, we're down here. I know it would be kind of just a more convenient in terms of in-universe to just go up to Redcliffe and everything, but I kind of want to go up to the dwarves, because like I said, I'm trying to do things in a way that I've never really done before, and this is a pretty sporadic order. Normally, I would go to Redcliffe pretty early on in the game, and then, you know, a combination of some other things next, but I'm enjoying kind of going in a bit of a different avenue than what I normally would. And I think in this case, you know, Idris has gone to the Brazilian forest and was able to do stuff with elves. I think that was kind of his first thing that he would really kind of be interested in doing. And now that he's picked up some companions and also has picked up Sandal and Bodan, that maybe he would be more interested in learning a bit more about the dwarves, or at least thinking that he'd have a bit more of an in with them than with anybody else, because, you know, I don't think he's the biggest fan of Alistair, and so anywhere Alistair wants to go, Idris is probably not going to be the most willing to do that. And then, as for the circle, as we've discussed before, I don't think he's too keen on going back to the circle right now. So, you know, if we look at our journal here, Kakari Wilds, no, that's in Redcliffe. Yeah, I think we should probably go and go to the dwarves, I think. Eventually we'll have to go back to the Brazilian forest and see if we can't take care of some of these other things. But I think the dwarves is the best angle to go for now. Alright, so let's go ahead and get going. Yes. So now I need to decide who's coming with me. I think this is one of the hardest parts about Dragon Age Origins, is trying to figure out who all you want on any given playthrough. Because you can cycle through things, but then it really feels nice to have like a core dedicated group of people to have around. I mean, I'm definitely going to have Morgan. I'm kind of interested in having Shale, because we haven't been able to do much with Shale. But then, in terms of who should be last, I don't know. I'm partial to Elba and Sten, although Sten has been kind of, I don't know, he just doesn't talk very much. I haven't been able to really interact with him much at all. But going to the dwarves, I feel like it would be interesting to have Sten around, especially since having Zevran around would be to have somebody that can pick locks, but he can't even pick any locks, so...
Yes.
Maybe Sten? Yeah, let's go ahead and do Sten for now. Alright. To the Frostback Mountains we go. Hey, no random events. That's nice. Area unlocked. Frostback Mountain Pass. Okay. This should be an interesting group of people. I do love the dwarves, the lore of the dwarves in Dragon Age. Out of all the things and all the complaints that I have about Dragon Age: The Veilguard, and if we ever get to that game here on the channel, that playthrough might be a bit more of a like big review / critique along with a let's play than it is this sort of more role-playing focused let's play. One thing that I will say is that the addition of the way that they handled some of the Dwarven lore in that game is actually really, really good, and I'm really happy with how that stuff turned out. Hello? Oh! They're bad guys! So let's do a bit of a mind blast. And, Dark Sustenance. I haven't checked these, have I? Is this self-inflicted wound lets the mage draw from the power of tainted blood. Significant amount of mana. That's not what we want. All right, so I've gone ahead and stunned those guys. There's bounty hunters. We should probably... So this one seems to be the tough one, because it has the different names. So let's go ahead and get this Virulent Walking Bonker. Alright. Now, do I have any AoEs? Well, let's freeze that shit. Okay. That'll work for now. And I need to get Idris out of here. Let's get Idris out of there. And, Idris is down. That's not good. That is not good at all. Alright, so we're back here with Morgan. Let's do a Mind Blast. Oh my gosh. This is not going very well, is it? Okay, so the mage is wrecking us. It's wrecking us. This is not going to go well. And Sten is about to die, as is the usual. Shale is... What can Shale even do? Stoneheart allows defensive talents and gains bonuses to armor and elemental. Yeah, let's have her do that. Oh boy. Sten is down. Sten is down. Have we made any progress on these? Uh-oh. There we go. And there goes Shale. Okay. Well, it seems like the road to Orzammar is pretty well defended, and these bounty hunters are kind of tough. So let's reload and see if we can't do this a bit better. Like, I can't even talk to them. Interesting. Should I even try to talk to them? I got close enough, and they pretty much aggroed it directly on us. Can I do something like that?
It will be done.
Right. Let's go ahead and walk forward a little bit. We definitely need to take out that mage. That mage is really, really bad news. Hello. About time a warden showed. Logain sends his regards. Okay, so that's who we're dealing with. We're dealing with Logain's men. So let's go ahead and freeze the mage. Morgan, let's go ahead and... I could freeze, put another freeze on just to make sure. Let's go ahead and add cross weapons to everybody. Oh, the mage resisted. All right, so we're gonna get Morgan to do that. There we go. Yep. Idris should do Stone Fist. That is perfect. Go ahead and put the walking bomb there. Morgan, let's do a Mind Blast. So we can stun them, and then let's see what we can do here. Shale, what do you have? Do you have any big, like, damage stuff? Let's do Threaten so that Shale can draw aggro, because Sten still seems kind of squishy. Let's get you to do a Pommel Strike on that one. Alright, there we go. Alright, so the mage is down now, which is great. Great news. And we got this ranged person here. That's not too big of a deal, but at the same time, let's go ahead and do a Mind Blast and stun the rest of these people. And now that Morgan is here, let's go ahead and focus some efforts over here. So you go ahead and do the lightning there. Or actually, how about you drain some life? That'll be better. And then Idris, let's go ahead and whip around here and get this lightning over here on these two bounty hunters. And Sten is down. Why can't Sten survive anything? Ow. This is not good. Greater health bolts. And we're down. Okay, now it's down to Morgan and Shale to see if we can pull this out. Oh boy. Pulverizing blows. Yeah, let's do that. Not bad, not bad. Can we freeze him? We can. Perfect. That's going to be the most important thing to do here. Let's go ahead and take a Lyrium Potion there. This is good. Get him with lightning. Very nice. This guy's still stunned. Perfect. Yeah, now let's take care of this bounty hunter. Get him, Shale. What do you have? Rock Mastery. What is this? Shale activates a mode that allows ranged attack talents, gaining a large bonus against missile attacks, but suffering... Yeah, no, we don't want to do that. Let's go ahead and Quake. Do a Quake. Excellent. And then we're going to get Morgan started on this guy over here. Let's put a vulnerability hex on him. Perfect. And just do some regular attacks.
Now we get our hands dirty.
There we go. That was a delayed reaction there from that bounty hunter. Okay. There we go. We survived. Lesser injury kit. That's pretty nice because actually we're going to want to take that. Let's go ahead and use that. Who else needed one? Sten. Alright, there we go.
As you say.
Take that loot. Looks like we're going to have to be pretty
Very
creative in our efforts here. Because, yeah. That was pretty tough. I gotta admit. I was not expecting that. We got more bounty hunters? Gossip?
Are we descending into the underground? The thought of so much rock over one's head is disquieting.
Okay. Hello?
Like the Maker, my brother and his family made it out of Lothering. He said that the Darkspawn attacked it the very next day.
The Darkspawn took Lothering, did they?
I don't know. I expect so, since there was no one there to stop them.
Well, it won't be much longer until those monsters get here. There doesn't seem to be anyone fighting them now.
Well, except for me.
Let's be careful. Darkspawn are coming.
What's going on out here? Does anybody have anything to say? Dwarf? Surface dwarf?
I've never seen an elf down here before.
I have contracts. They can't shut us out like this.
Interesting. Okay, so people seem to be locked out here?
This is madness. They can't just shut down the city.
So it seems like nobody's being allowed in?
So I spoke to this hunter the other day, and you know what he says?
Those are just random dwarves.
You were very quiet, Sten.
Only compared to some.
Okay. This is a named person. Hello there.
Oh, you wish to talk to me? Truly, it's a courtesy for one so well-armed to notice a lowly merchant.
You live on the surface?
Someone has to. Trade with other races can dry up. We surfacers are Orzammar's lifeline, even if we're denied a caste. The Assembly says we've turned our back on the stone, but they still use the goods we bring. Hypocrites. Maybe it'll change by the time my children are grown.
How often do you restock in Orzammar?
Twice a year. I'm confined to a trade stall in the Commons, but I see enough. It's very closed in. My grandfather says I've lost my stone sense. I was born topside. I don't remember having it.
Alright, never mind. I should go.
Best of luck to you.
Since I can't trade with him, apparently. There was a named person over here, so let's go back over here and talk to Farron.
Maker's breath, is that? Oh, I beg your pardon. Can I help you, friend?
Is something wrong?
No, nothing at all. Just, you know, thought I saw something.
Since you are clearly looking at me, I would say that you do see something.
Well, yes. Never you mind. Can I help you?
What do you sell here?
Well, little of this, little of that. You know, used armor mostly. Nothing that would really interest fine people like yourselves.
Is it refreshing or unsettling that this merchant is reluctant to show us his wares?
It's, odd attitude for a merchant there, Sten.
Well, I'm considerate of my customers' time, that's all.
What reassuring certainty.
Let me take a look.
Oh, certainly.
Weird. Very weird, isn't it? I mean, what does he have? I mean... Oh, we're also pretty high on our inventory, so we're probably going to need to sell some stuff. Let's see. I don't think we'd probably need any of this stuff. Really? Chevalier's gloves. Knight Commander's plate. Hey, let's focus on selling some stuff that we don't necessarily need. Darmisen, tier 4. Let's go ahead and sell that. Olaf's prize cheese knife. I'll keep that. Sell the edge. Falandine's reach. Tier 7. Tier 3 longbow. Let's get rid of that. Get rid of Darkspawn longbow. Oak branch. Tier 4. Isn't that what we were using previously? Let's compare the item to what Morgan has for the oak branch. And she's got Final Reason tier 6. So, yeah, we can go ahead and sell that. Small flawed fire crystal. Converts all damage to nature damage. Let's go ahead and sell these. I don't really need those right now. Armor, Helm of Honleith. Can I equip that on somebody? On Sten? Helm of Honleith is only a tier 2. Interesting. Has less armor. Strange. Strange. I might want to replace it with the heavy infantry helmet, although that might be a closed helm. Just sell these iron rings. Get rid of those. Harvest Festival ring, silver cord. Anything else that we could sell? We could sell the wolf pelt, the quartz, the garnet. We'll keep all the gifts. Keep the runes, because those could be nice. I haven't done anything with them, but I probably should soon, shouldn't I? We have flasks, elf fruit, stuff like that. Alright, what do they have over here? Greater Lyrium potion recipe for 4 gold. That's pretty nice. Elf fruit. You know what? Might as well. Might as well buy the elf fruit that we can. Greater Lyrium potion. Requires expert herbalism. Let's go ahead and just leave that for now then. We won't worry about that. Alright, I think that's going to be good for now. Alright. I love hearing Shale's just like footsteps behind us. Bonk, 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 bonk.
King Loghain will not suffer the delay of his appointed messenger.
Loghain, you say?
Vieta, this land is held in trust for the sovereign Dwarven kings. I cannot allow entry at this time.
King Loghain demands the allegiance of the Desher, or lords, or whatever you call them in your assembly. I am his appointed messenger.
I don't care if you're the king's wiper. Orzammar will have none but its own until our throne is settled.
I have important business in Orzammar.
None more important than mine.
Your business will wait. Orzammar must limit outside influence until the throne is settled. No one gets in.
Well, I have urgent need to talk to your king.
Who doesn't? If I don't get in, no one should.
Orzammar has no king. Endrin Idukan returned to the stone not 3 weeks ago, sick over the loss of his sons. The Assembly has gone through a dozen votes without agreeing on a successor. If it is not settled soon, we risk a civil war.
Oh, right. Well, I am a Grey Warden, and this treaty obliges Orzammar to aid me. You should let me in.
The Wardens killed King Kaelin and nearly doomed Ferelden. They're sworn enemies of King Loghain.
Well, that is the Royal Seal. That means only the Assembly is authorized to address it. Grey Warden, you may pass.
You're letting in a traitor? And a foreigner? In the name of King Loghain, I demand that you execute this stain on the honor of Ferelden.
You really want to challenge me? I could intimidate. Run to your false king. The dwarves will not hear him today. That's enough. Raise your blade if you're so tough. Nah, because I feel like that's just kind of... Yeah, we're just going to intimidate. Run to your false king. The dwarves will not hear him today.
You'll hear of this. King Loghain will see you quartered.
Yeah, we'll see about that.
You are free to enter Orzammar, Grey Warden, though I don't know what help you will find.
Well, maybe a bath for all the blood splatter and stuff. Alright, we're inside. Seek out Steward Bandalore.
Atrost Vala, Warden. Your arrival is a mixed blessing. We
Alright.
prefer that outsiders not witness our infighting, but your presence will be tolerated.
Well, glad to hear that.
Show some pity for a poor old man.
Beggars.
Now that's a thing of beauty, daughter. If you work hard like Branka, all Orzammar will know your name.
Mother, I don't want to be like her. She...
Don't say that! Not to me, not to anyone. Now get back to the forge. I want to see more details.
Yes, Mother.
What is this? Paragon Branca. An explanation of the Paragons. Codex. Culture and history? The Paragons. Alright, as I studied among the dwarves, I became aware that their social system was as rigid as the stone that surrounded them. From the lowest servant to the king of Orzammar, each dwarf has a caste, a rigid social standing, which dictates what he may do and how he may do it. What fascinated me then was that the dwarves, stubborn and proud as they may be, have built any way for them, even the lowliest dwarf, to bypass the caste system and reach prominence. Any dwarf who has made an achievement of significance can be named Paragon, elevating that dwarf above all others. To become a Paragon is to be recognized as, essentially, a living ancestor. Your words are considered ineffable, and the dwarves liken you to a god. Your family, those who you choose to ascend with you, become the founders of a new line of nobility. Indeed, every existing noble house among the dwarves traces its line back to a founding Paragon. It is a rare thing, however. In my visit, I learned that the only one Paragon that has been elected in generations, the smith Branca, exalted for her discovery of smokeless coal. I met the Paragon Branca only once during my stay, and I consider it an odd occasion indeed. Surrounded by those of her house, this ill-tempered woman was draped in the finest clothing and jewelry, and was obviously revered even above the highest nobles, perhaps above even the king. Yet she seemed to enjoy none of it. The burden of being a living legend is great, it appears. Statues of the Paragons are found throughout Orzammar, nowhere so prominently than in the Hall of Heroes, through which one passes on entering from the surface. It is a breathtaking sight to behold. Great works of stone, all seemingly hold up the ceiling above. It is meant to impress upon visitors to Orzammar of all who have gone before, I think. It is also meant to remind dwarves going to the surface, and thus abandoning their brethren forever, of all they are leaving behind. From Stone Halls of the Dwarves by Brother Genitivi, Chantry Scholar. Yeah, Brother Genitivi gets around, doesn't he? Like, wasn't he the guy that was talking all, that had everything going on, in...
I have spare a few bits for it.
This is not the first writing of his we've come across.
Yes.
Paragon Lantena? Interesting. Hello?
Show respect, Surfacer. You're in the Hall of Heroes, home to the best of us.
Well, the figures are quite grand indeed.
Paragons, dwarves who achieve such greatness, they're considered ancestors even if they yet walk among us. If only we had one now. A unifier. A voice like that, there would be no dissension.
Hint, hint. Alright, so find one.
Surfacers always assume nothing happens underground without them. Many are trying, despite our stalemate. Goodbye, Warden. I hope you're not needed.
Okay. Anybody else we can talk to here?
If only you had come at a less troubled time.
Atrost Vala, Warden.
I do not understand what a golem is. Why would anyone create such a being?
Why would one create a sword? To strike at its enemies.
But you are no sword golem. You speak like a living creature, but act like a possession.
I do not know what to make of you.
I am no possession. Not now that the control rod is broken.
No, it is still in your heart. Do you even realize this? Age by age have men stood up and said to the world, "From what has come before me I was forged, but I am new and greater than my forebears." And so each man walks the world in ruin, abandoned and untried, less than the whole of his being.
It is a riddle.
It seems so.
Commission report. What's this? The key to the city on Dwarven propriety? Codex. So that would be... what, just a note? Or would it be crest related? Key to the city. There it is. While your concerns have merit, the Assembly has made itself clear. Space within the Tig is at a premium, but the intended function of the Hall merits the additional resources committed. The statues of the Paragons must be the core of the Hall of Heroes. There is no other placement that so benefits Dwarven interests. It is the first glimpse that surface ambassadors have of Orzammar, an introduction not just to our living ancestors, but also to the stone from which we were born. They must see its shape before they can understand the complexity of its raw form. The hall must also serve a second purpose, as a last sight for departing brethren. Those who choose to leave must do so with the heavy gaze of their ancestors at their backs. It is a reminder of duty and of consequence. We will promote all manner of trade, but also reinforce that those who leave for too long will return as strangers to the stone. From a report on the Assembly Zoning Commission. Okay, it looks like we're about to head into a pretty tangled political situation.
It will be done.
It is the Assembly who makes a king, and a king who nominates his successor. None of it is carried in the blood.
Or, as now, when someone tries using the Assembly to pull a coup. Who's to say what my father said in his final hours, when the usurper Harrowmont was the only one by his side?
I'll have you thrown in prison.
You've bitten off more than you can chew!
Handlers, separate these dashers in the diamond quarter. I will not have Balin incite a riot.
Not speak that way about the man who should be king!